With our super busy lives, people often ask, how do you fit it all in? I'm gonna share it with you. Stick around. Welcome to the channel. My name is Morgan here at the Life of Tillmans. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here in this space. If you haven't done so already, go ahead, click that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you do not miss any of the videos uploaded on the channel. If you've been with me before, welcome back. The age-old question of how do you fit it all in? How does it work? Where do you find the time? Like, what do you do? It's a struggle. The first thing that I want to say is that I don't fit it all in, okay? We have a lot going on. If you follow us over on Instagram, we're Life of Tillmans, follow us there. You'll get to see our day-to-day. But we have basketball practice, we have dance, we have gymnastics, we have doctor's appointments that are going on usually around this time of year. There are so many things, a lot. And on top of that, you add in core curriculum, so language arts, and then math, and then writing and Spanish and geography and science and art and music, and I could go on and on and on, and poetry and sitting down reading your books and unit studies over what your children want to learn. And then there's the holidays, so you have Christmas books and just time to sit down, read alouds and extracurriculars and just coloring. I mean, I could go on and on. There are so many different things that you can do every single day, and you probably want to do them all. Not to mention, if you have followed the channel at any point in time, you know that we are huge crafters. So getting in crafts as well, how do you fit all of that stuff in? I'm going to share it with you guys. In short, we don't fit it all in, but I do have some steps that I take to help us be able to maximize our time. One of the biggest things I want you to think about is a lot of times it's simply about time management. Where are you placing emphasis on your time? That is the big thing. The number one thing that I'm going to say that has helped us to be able to fit in a lot of things, and it's not overwhelming a lot. There are some people who are like, I don't want to try to do everything. I don't want to fit in all of these different things. I just want to keep it to the basics. And that is amazing. If you're able to do that, I say run with it. But we like variety over here. And so there are things that I want us to work on. There are areas that we need to enrich. And so we have just varying things. But number one on my list to help with us fitting things into our schedule is a timer. It sounds very simple. And it really is. It is a timer. I have mentioned before in a previous video where a lot of times I'm one of those, if I start a task, I want to finish it. Whether it takes me 20 minutes or 2 hours, I feel like I need to finish it. But that's not reality. We have to set structure to the things that we are doing. Now, it's not a rigid structure that we couldn't stick with and didn't necessarily like. However, we do have to set the boundaries, and a timer has been super helpful. Here's my timer. This right here, I bought it a while back, but I got it off of Amazon. There are 2 in a pack, and it has an on-off button here. You set it here, it beeps really loud. You can change your battery. Oh, this is a magnet on here, but it also has a battery where you can change it. This magnet, it can stick up on our whiteboard. This timer has been amazing. The second thing, which is related to this timer, is setting time limits. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go down rabbit holes every single day because we can. I have some very inquisitive children, and we can go down rabbit holes and just get completely lost. And that's okay because I really do love doing that, but we're not able to do that all the time. So how do I do that without taking away their excitement for whatever it is that they want to further their research? Well, we set a time limit. Within that time limit, example, 20 minutes. We're going to spend 20 minutes on crafts. Okay, when that 20-minute time frame is up, we put our crafts away. If we're not done, we get to a stopping point. It usually takes us maybe a couple of minutes if we're not at a stopping point to get there, and we come back to it the next day. It's a limit. We have to set limits. We don't have 5 hours to do crafts. We just don't have the time to do it. But we can get in crafts in 20 minutes. I can also plan out crafts that are shorter that allow for us to have that time to do the craft. And you still feel like you are accomplishing something awesome because you got to do a craft today, and you got language arts done, and you got math done, and you got your writing done. Whatever else it is that you're trying to get in, you got your house cleaned, everyone was able to go to their extracurricular activities, you got to sit down for your 20 or 30-minute break. Check out video down below. I will link it where I talked about mom self-care. That 20 or 30 minutes is major. Give it to your children too. But it's been awesome to have the timer, number one, and to set the time limits, number two. The third thing is going down those rabbit holes. Yes, they're exciting and they're fun. But as I said before, we're not able to do that every day. So how do I not take away the joy and excitement from the girls by not being able to continue down the rabbit holes? We have a list. If there are things that they want to know, rabbit holes that we are going down, I write it down. Writing it down is major because then we don't forget. So the moment doesn't get lost right then because we now have it on paper. And maybe on Thursdays, which is our least heaviest day, we have the entire morning all the way into the evening until we get to dance and cleaning up our home all day long, where we can spend more time going down those rabbit holes. So make that list. If your girls, I have girls. If your children ask you questions about things and you're not able to get to that right at that moment, because not everyone is built for unschooling. Not everyone is able to fully do child-led learning all day, every day. And that is okay. Write those things down, put them on paper, put them on a whiteboard somewhere, put them on a note in your phone where they won't get lost, and come back to them a couple of days later. Now, don't wait months and months and months, but come back to them when you do have that free moment. When they say, oh, what are we gonna do now? I remember now. Let's go to that list and follow that rabbit hole we were talking about the other day. It feels so good because your children are like, yes, they're excited about it. My girls get so excited when we can go back to something that we were talking about because they know that we're going to do it. When I tell them we're going to write it down and come back to it, they don't moan and groan about it because they know that we're going to come back to that. It's going to be an opportunity for us to continue following that rabbit hole for the time frame that we have set. The fourth way that we're able to fit more into our day is we utilize what I consider to be dead space. Now, this does not take away the 20 or 30 minute relaxation time or whatever time we've set for relaxation. No, but dead space, like when my oldest daughter goes to basketball practice in the morning from 7:30 to 9:30, she's at basketball practice. I have two other children who are homeschooling. We sit down and we do our schoolwork while she's at basketball practice. By the time she's done with practice, my other two daughters are done with school. Completely done. They don't have anything else left to do. They've eaten breakfast, they've done their schoolwork, they've even gotten in a little bit of playtime. They're done. So by the time we get home at 10 o'clock in the morning, on those days that we have basketball practice, they're finished. They can now go and play games, and I get to sit down with my big girl and help her through her work. Well, she's fourth grade, and she's very, very independent. And it's nothing that she does requires me to be next to her 100%. She has figured out how to work independently. That is the beauty of it, using that dead space. I also have a daughter who goes to gymnastics. On those days, my two big girls, we have an hour. She's in gymnastics for 1 hour. So my big girls take that opportunity, and that is the time that they will do some of their schoolwork using the dead space. Instead of us sitting in the car, doing nothing, watching a movie or whatever, they're reading. We are doing our read alouds that our youngest baby girl is really not that into. That's how we make that work, using the dead space. There's a lot of car schooling that goes on with us because we do spend a lot of time in the car. I'm going to share that in another video, but it's important to be able to utilize that time. I have the girls bring things. We have bags that stay packed for us to just pick up, hit the door, and we have schoolwork in there to be able to get things in when we can. The last thing on the list, which is number 5 of how we're able to fit it all in, is I try to focus on things that my girls can do independently. That means they don't have to have me near them, and it still is a supplement to help enrich whatever their core curriculum is. And also science projects, crafts. I come up with things that I don't have to be next to them all the time. This allows us to be able to get more done because I don't have to spend a lot of individual time. I do still spend individual time with my girls for typically math and language arts. But other than that, the other areas that they work in, we do writing as a family, but the other areas that they work in, like spelling and vocabulary, Spanish, all of those things, they are able to do those independently, which helps us to be able to get more in because I don't have to have one sitting and waiting on me while I work with another one. We have worked out our schedules to where it works for us. It works really good. So finding those areas where your children can work independently will allow you to be able to fit in more things where you are needed. Science projects, I like to sit with them because we talk about the science and things behind them. So that is something that we do as a family, but we wouldn't be able to get those in if we didn't have other areas where the girls could be independent. So that is my long explanation of how we're able to fit it all. Everyone always asks, how do you fit it all in? But we don't fit it all in. We plan for the things, we work it out. I use these 5 steps and it works for our household. I hope this video was helpful for you. Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel like you're not able to get in everything that you want to get in? Or are you on the other side and you feel like you are getting in what you need to get in? Put it down in the comments below. I want to hear all about it so we can chat. And hopefully if someone else is getting it all in, they can add in some more tips that could help us all. Let's build this community and let's work it out, mamas. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Click that notification bell and I will see you right back here at the Life of Tillmans for another video next time. Bye.